welcome back. I'm Allison. This is Wonder Crochet. Today I thought it would be fun to go over some of my recent crochet favorites. So my new favorite yarns, crochet patterns, crochet tools, books, and then just some fun, cute craft room items too. I've done videos in the past of my favorite yarns and hooks, but honestly, it continues to change over time. And lately I've been trying out a lot of new different yarns for amigurumi. So I especially thought that those would be fun to share. But I have quite a wide variety of items on this list, and it includes some small business items as well. So I hope you can find something new on this list that you'd like to try out, or maybe you didn't know that you needed. As always, if you don't yet know how to crochet and you'd like to learn how to make plushies like all of these, I have a full online course and I'll link that in the description. It teaches you how to crochet from the very beginning and how to do it well. So let's jump into my latest crochet favorites. Real quick, this is not on the list, but look at this mushroom mug. I'll link it in the description anyway, but I think it's so cute because the top, it keeps your drink warm. I have a matcha latte in here. That's why it's bright green. Not really crochet related, but definitely cozy related, and I love it. I thought we would start out with my latest favorite yarns, since that is the question that I get asked most often is what type of yarn do I use? And if you've been following me for a while or you watch my videos, you know that I love Parfait Chunky yarn, which is this one over here. But honestly, they have been out of stock of a ton of colors for way too long. So I would say that a new yarn that I have been leaning towards has been Honey Bunny yarn, and that's by Hobbii. It's exactly the same as Parfait Chunky. And what's nice is they're in stock of tons of colors, and if they do go out of stock, they come back in stock pretty quickly. It is a little bit more expensive than Parfait Chunky, but wait for a sale because they run sales all the time, and then it definitely makes it worth it. So for all my crochet artists who have been wondering when Parfait Chunky is going to come back in stock, or maybe looking for something different or something that ships to your country, definitely check out Honey Bunny. The next yarn on my recent favorites is Bernat Velvet yarn. This is a new discovery. I know a lot of you have been using this for amigurumi for a while, and honestly, I wish that I would have started sooner. I didn't know what I was missing with velvet yarn because this is so soft. It doesn't shed as much as the chenille yarns do, but you still get that soft and cozy look, and I wish you could feel this through the screen. It might be the softest yarn I've ever felt. So this is a size 5 bulky yarn, so it is a size smaller than the usual yarns that I use or the ones that I use in most of my patterns. But honestly, you can use this yarn with any pattern. I used this velvet yarn yesterday to make my dragon pattern, and it turned out smaller, but I love the look of it. Like, it's so soft, so cuddly. This pattern's in my shop, so I'll link it in the description too. But I honestly want to make all of my creations in velvet yarn because I love how it turned out. And the size is really great too. So I will say that the color options for Bernat Velvet are not as vast as Parfait Chunky. I don't know any other brand that offers this many colors. So you really have to think about what you're going to make before you buy it. It's really pretty. And if you haven't used it yet, I would definitely recommend it. Also, I used a 4mm crochet hook with this yarn, and that worked pretty well for me. Speaking of crochet hooks, I know there are so many different kinds that you can use, and honestly, I would say that hooks are more of a personal preference thing. Whatever feels comfortable in your hand is what's best to use. Personally, Clover crochet hooks are my absolute favorite. I know I've talked about these before, but I've tried just about every crochet hook that's on the market, and nothing feels as comfortable in my hand as a Clover hook. And people have asked me many times if I think that Clover is worth the price. Absolutely, 100%. Nothing glides like a Clover crochet hook. And if you're worried about the price, just wait for it to go on sale. They sell these hooks on Amazon, and they go on sale so many times. A lot of times you'll find them for like 50% off, and that's when I got mine. I got the kit that has multiple crochet hooks in it, but you can buy them just by the specific number that you want. And just for some examples of the different hook sizes for what I use for each yarn, for the worsted weight yarn, I like a 3.5 or a 4mm hook. And for Parfait Chunky or Honey Bunny, I like a 5mm hook. And then for a little bit larger yarns like Sweet Snuggles Light, I like to use a 6mm. And then for Bernat Blanket, I like to use a 6 or a 7. And then for our jumbo yarns like Parfait XL or Sweet Snuggles, I like to use a 9mm. And once again, crochet hook size is all preference. If you're starting to see holes in your work or it's spaced out a little bit too much, go down a hook size. And if your stitches are a little bit too tight, then go up a hook size. Next, I wanted to chat about some of my favorite crochet patterns right now. I have 3 patterns that I have been working on a lot lately, and I just really like them. 2 are amigurumi and 1 is not. Probably seen this one before, maybe in the background of my videos. This baby giraffe pattern. This is by Yuval's Crochet, and she has a lot of like smaller animal patterns, and lately I've been enjoying making smaller things instead of the giant amigurumi creations because they take less time to make, and I really like how they turned out. Also, the smaller stuff seems to be a crowd favorite just for what people like to buy in my experience. So definitely check out this little giraffe pattern. Oh, and the yarn for this I used Bloom Chenille yarn to get that cute floral look. The next pattern that I've really been enjoying is this little squid pattern. This is by All From Jade. If you're in the amigurumi world, I'm sure you've tried one of her patterns. They're all so well done. But I just made this squid last week. Look how cute it is. I can't get over it. And it took me less than an hour to make, which is awesome for an amigurumi project. But it has the little tentacles and it's completely no-sew. She has a lot of great no-sew patterns if you're sewing adverse. And you can do really any color combination. I went with Sea Glass from Parfait Chunky for this one to give it kind of like a sea creature look, but you can do any color. There's a lot of options. So I'll definitely be making more of this one and check it out if you like it too. This next crochet pattern that I've been enjoying is not an amigurumi pattern, believe it or not. I'm actually working on my first cardigan. As you can see, I haven't gotten that far on it. I actually think I'm gonna finish this one because I love this pattern. This is the hexagon cardigan pattern by Passionate, and I follow Kelsey's tutorial on YouTube, which all of her tutorials are super easy to follow. And I told you all that I would make my first cardigan this fall, and I'm holding up that promise. I'm hoping to finish this by next week because it is a really quick pattern. It's like a granny square cardigan where you continue to build up the square, but it's a hexagon. Oh, and the yarn that I'm using, which I guess I could have mentioned in my favorite yarns because I really am enjoying using it, is by Yarnspirations. It's this Karen cake and it's cinnamon swirl cake. Really pretty fall colors. And as you work in your hexagon or your granny square, it turns out really pretty. So if you like to make wearables, I would definitely check it out. It is an acrylic yarn. I know some people only like to work with cotton for their wearables, but honestly, this has been so smooth to work with and I'm really enjoying how it's turning out. Now we'll move into the crochet tools and small business items. The first is this crochet or knitting bag, and I know that this has been quite popular in the crochet world for a while, but it still holds up as one of my favorite items. This bag is great for travel. Honestly, it'd be great as a diaper bag too, but it has a ton of storage. Like in the front, it has slots for all of your hooks, and there's even spots down here for crochet hooks and other tools. And then on the inside, it's very large. There's all of these different spots for skeins of yarn, and once again, just a ton of storage in here. There's more storage on the back and on the sides, but I think that the coolest part is that you can weave your yarn through these holes so that you can keep the ball of yarn in the bag and you can be crocheting. So say that you're walking through the airport or I don't know, around Disney World and you want to work on your crochet project, you can keep the yarn inside. Obviously you would need to finish it or cut it off to get it out of here, but it is pretty convenient. And they also made a new version of this bag, which I haven't gotten yet, and I think it includes a USB charging port as well, and I'll link that one in the description if you want to check it out. But honestly, I got the older model and I love it. It's exactly what I need and it holds so much stuff. If you like to work on your projects on the go, definitely recommend this. My next favorite crochet, I guess you would call it a tool, is safety eyes. When I first started crocheting, I would use safety eyes because I felt that they were the easiest for me to use. And then I moved on to felt eyes. So just cutting pieces out of felt and using fabric glue to glue them on or felting them on. And I loved doing that for a while, but honestly, I'm back to safety eyes. I think they're really cute and they're really easy to use. And in my opinion, they look good in just about every project. And they do make a lot of different safety eyes, but the plain black ones are my favorite, and they make safety noses as well. Did use a little bit more of a fun safety eye for this squid. I don't know if you can see it well, but it has kind of a sparkly background. You can change out the different colors of the backgrounds before you put it on. So I love this kit. It comes with several different sizes and different noses as well. I'm actually out of several of the sizes, so I need to order another one. I'll put this in the description. And then I also have larger safety eyes. For example, I like to use the large ones with these jumbo projects that I make, and I think these are 30mm eyes, so it's nice to have if you crochet with jumbo yarn. The next item is definitely a small business favorite, and it's this shipping scale. If you ship out a lot of plushies and you don't want to take them all to USPS or UPS or whatever shipping service you use, I like to use Pirate Ship to ship all of my stuff. And this is not an ad for Pirate Ship, it's really my favorite. You actually save money if you go through them. So for example, if I'm shipping out a plushie, I'll pack it up in a box and I'll weigh it on the shipping scale and input that into Pirate Ship, and then I can buy my shipping label right from there, print it from home, slap it on. It's really easy. But that's not the only thing that I use the shipping scale for. If I am trying to measure out how much yarn I'm using in a project, when I'm writing patterns, I use this shipping scale as well. Weigh out the yarn before I start a project, and then I'll weigh out how much yarn is left and then subtract the two, and that's how I know how many grams of yarn the pattern will use. So it's really helpful when I'm writing patterns. This next item is more of a helpful tool when it comes to crocheting, and it's not what you would think to use necessarily in the crochet world. If you're a parent or you have little ones, you might already have one of these. It's actually a boppy, which is a nursing pillow. Wondering why would I need this? It's really great for support while you're crocheting. So you'll take this and you'll put it around your waist, and this is great if you're sitting on a couch. It gives you elbow support while you're crocheting. I hear crocheters complain all the time about wrist pain, neck pain, back pain, and a lot of that comes from your posture. I've found that supporting your elbows is one of the best things to make sure that I have good neck posture, shoulder posture, and back posture, which really prevents a lot of injuries over time or neck pain, because really a lot of the pain that you get in your wrists or other parts of your body can actually come from your neck and your spine. And I see all the time crocheters with really bad posture, and I completely get it. It's so difficult, especially when you're in the groove. But crocheting, especially with your neck down, you know, looking down at your pattern, it's hard to not do that. But I found that if you use something like a boppy and you have that elbow support, it keeps your project up here so that you can look at it without having to strain your neck the whole time. As you can tell, I'm really passionate about this because it can prevent a lot of pain and injuries to just have that good posture. So if you already have a boppy, now you have another use for it. If not, I'll link this in the description. I really liked this pattern. They have a lot of different ones as well, but I really liked this one with the leaves on it. Next are some of my favorite crochet books lately. I love getting pattern books because it's fun to just have the pattern in hand and have a book to follow along in. It's getting to the point where I have tons of these pattern books, and I've only done a couple patterns from each, but anytime that I'm in kind of a crochet funk, lost my crojo as people say, I like to flip through these books and find a pattern to do, and they always seem to give me some fun inspiration. So this first one is by Lauren Espy, A Menagerie of Stitches, and she actually sent me this one to review, and I love it. This is Animal Amigurumi Adventures 2. There is a first one as well if you're looking for even more cute animal patterns, but there's such a fun variety, like this cute penguin pattern, this lion, or my personal favorite, the walrus. Now these patterns are made with worsted weight yarn, so if you use worsted weight yarn, it's great, but if you use fluffy yarn, the patterns are still great, but you will get a large plush. Let me show you. I made the walrus pattern in the book with Parfait Chunky, and as you can see, he's a big boy. It's cuddly and it's cute, and it turned out really well. I know people are worried sometimes that patterns won't transfer well to fluffier yarns and vice versa, but I've never had an issue with that. I found that I can use just about any pattern with the fluffier yarn, and this is actually one of my favorite makes. I'll never be selling this one. And another book by Lauren, this one is not new, but it's just one of my favorites, and I don't think that'll ever go away, and it's Crochet Cafe. And this has so many cute different food patterns, and once again, her patterns are just so well written, lots of detail. There's this burger and fries pattern. So cute. Chips and guac. This was actually one of my favorite ones to make. I lied. I think the burrito was my favorite to make. But if you like making cute food amigurumi, definitely get this. And then the last book on my list that I've really been enjoying is this potted plant crochet book. This is by Knot Monster. He's a ton of amigurumi pattern books, and they're all really cute. But as you can see, there's a ton of different potted plants that you can make for your room. I am actually working on this one right here. If you've seen my craft space, I have kind of this teardrop wall shelving, and I'm filling that all with crochet plants, and I'm gonna make a ton from here. So if you like crochet plants, definitely check this out. I actually only have 2 more items left on our list, and these are more so just fun, cutesy craft room decor items. And the first are these cloud shelves here. Here, I'll take the stuff off so you can see them better. I love the look of these, and I think it's really great to display little amigurumi. So if you're looking for some items for your craft space or for your bedroom, I really enjoy these cloud shelves. And you know I love a good cloud aesthetic, but it fits little amigurumi really well. And it looks like they're just sitting there hanging out, which is so cute. But I tend to switch up the amigurumi on here per season, so it's almost like I'm decorating for the seasons here, because I have a pumpkin and these little ghosts up there now. And the last item on my favorites list is really just kind of a cute desk decor item. It's kind of functional. It's this little duck light. Watch. I found this on Amazon and I had to have it. You can put it on a timer and there's 2 different brightness settings for it, but I just love that you just to turn it on and off. So if you've seen some of my videos lately, he's been hanging out in the background because who doesn't need a cute duck desk lamp? Those were all my current crochet favorites. Let me know in the comments if there are any that you're definitely going to get, or maybe you already have and you love. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and consider watching another video of mine, because that shows YouTube that you enjoyed it. And if you don't already, if you'd like to give me a follow on Instagram, I post all of my new crochet projects and polls and all kinds of fun over there. As always, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you real soon.